I really think it is because Derrick Henry puts so much strain on defenses late in games.
Can you imagine tackling that guy?
And that's the
That'd
thing.
Be awesome.
That's where I really have a lot of faith in Baltimore in this. Dirk, the Cincinnati Bengals are still a threat.
Absolutely.
They're still a threat. They are on the precipice of being like out of playoff elimination, out of playoff contention via elimination, we'll say, just because of where their record is, because of what their schedule is, everything. But I think if the Bengals get into the playoffs, this team is still pretty dangerous. And I feel like there are teams like Denver that are sort of sandbagging in that, 6 to 7 seed range right now.
Yeah.
That are going to be vulnerable. But remember, the Bengals play the Broncos. If Cincy gets into the postseason, this team could be a disruptor that could take out Baltimore, could take out Buffalo, could take out Kansas City. It's just one of those teams that I think you got to watch out for if they get in. Last night's game was a perfect example of it.
How crazy is it that, but for Lamar Jackson's perfect fourth quarter, I mean, this team is a substantially different, position. And also, how do you feel if you're Jamar Chase? You have 3 touchdowns, over 11 receptions, and just adding on the stats, and you still lose. I mean, you go in that locker room, and you're like, come on, guys! What's going on here?
If I'm not mistaken, in PPR, it was a top...
It was 56 points or something.
Yeah, I think it was a top 10 or top 12 performance of all time in PPR.
Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson had better stats.
There have been some. Actually, it's crazy. I looked up the all-time greatest PPR performance. Do you want to guess who it is?
Chris Jones.
No. Chris Jones? What? No. Jerry Rice had 65.5 PPR. He had 5 touchdown receptions in a game. But in any case, I really think what you saw last night, and in both games, here's the deal. The Bengals are in trouble. There's no question about it. But if you look at their seasonal record, got off to a slow start, also lost that game to Kansas City where there's some questionable officiating down the stretch, lost 2 classics against the Ravens, who we know what the Ravens are and what they're all about. Still think Cincinnati can get back into it. Now, on the flip side of the coin, Dirk, I'm going to pose this to you.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about Baltimore, and there's no question that offense is very dangerous. The Ravens still look like a team that could win the Super Bowl. But the Ravens have issues.
Yeah.
That defense is beginning to be a problem.
Hamilton is so good, though, on that defense.
He is.
Outside of that, you're right. They definitely do have issues. But I don't think that's the issue that is going to be. If there is an issue, it's still going to be, Lamar just doesn't play very well in the postseason. And
that's historical, though.
Yeah, there's some, well, kind of. I don't know. There's some hate that's going to come from that. But, I mean, you see it time and time again. And then also, the wide receiver play really hasn't been that good. Think about those, fourth quarter comeback attempts, and then Lamar hits a guy in the face and he can't catch the ball. If it's tough.
If there's a reason though why Lamar looks a little different this year and he is posting these perfect passer rating games and stuff, I really think it is because Derrick Henry puts so much strain on defenses late in games.
Can you imagine tackling that guy?
And that's the
That'd
thing.
Be awesome.
That's where I really have a lot of faith in Baltimore in this postseason is that Henry and Jackson as a dual threat combo. Now, it depends on Jackson's health a little bit, but it's so hard to defend that spread zone read option when you have someone who's lightning quick as Jackson, but then such a pounder like Henry.
Have you noticed that the play calling has been aggressive all year with Baltimore, right? Every single time you see teams do this over and over again, you get to the playoffs and then it's constant. It's like the John Fox mode. All of a sudden comes out and hey, we got 2 minutes left. Yeah, we're down, or we're tied. And instead of letting Peyton Manning run loose, we're just gonna play. We're gonna down it and go to the OT.
It definitely, yes.
About?
In the AFC Championship last year, it definitely happened. I don't know. I just think it's a different thing for teams to contend with. That Kansas City's gonna have to contend with Henry running the ball down people's throat.
No.
But here's the thing, Dirk. Here's where my crazy statement is gonna lie. All right.
Okay.
In my mind, I've got Kansas City, of course, the defending champions, undefeated. Until someone beat them.
No.
Until someone beats them, they're the team to beat.
Okay.
They're up here.
Yeah.
right about here is Baltimore in the AFC. They're close.
Yeah.
I think they very much are close. In that next tier, I'm willing to move a third team, and it's very weird to say this with losing record with everything, but in likelihood of actually getting to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, I'm putting the Bengals in the same tier. Same tier as Pittsburgh and Buffalo.
No, you cannot put them in the same tier as Pittsburgh. That defense is not good enough to be in the same tier.
I'm just saying, if Cincinnati gets into the postseason, I think they're as likely to run the table as Pittsburgh or Buffalo.
No.
The Bills are going to have home games, but I just think this Bengals
team...
the
Cardinals are going to go to the Super Bowl.
The Bengals are way more dangerous than the Cardinals.
I don't know.
We'll see.